Are you tired of that sticky, stubborn mucus sitting in the back of your throat? That constant clearing, that embarrassing cough that interrupts you mid-sentence, in a meeting, in the middle of a quiet room, even in your own home. I know exactly how you feel. You've been living with this for weeks, maybe months, maybe years. That sensation of something stuck that simply won't move, no matter what you do. You've tried everything, haven't you? Ginger and lemon tea, syrups that promise to break up the mucus, glasses and glasses of water, and at best, maybe a few minutes of relief. Then it comes right back, just as thick, just as stubborn. At night, it keeps you awake. A dry, nagging cough that steals your sleep. In the morning, the first thing you do is rush to the bathroom, trying to clear a throat that never quite feels clean. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and it makes you wonder, what is wrong with me? Why is nothing working? Here's what most people don't know, and what most doctors don't take the time to explain in a quick appointment. That mucus in your throat is almost never a respiratory problem. It is not a cold that won't go away. It is not just some random allergy. It is a distress signal. Your throat is literally crying out for help. As a physician, I see this frustration every single day. Patients who come in convinced they have a chronic infection or some rare disease, when the truth is something completely different. And the reason nothing has worked for them is the same reason nothing has worked for you. You have been attacking the symptom, not the cause. You have been trying to dry the floor without turning off the tap. Stay with me. Because in this video, I am not going to give you another home remedy that falls short. I'm going to show you the real culprit behind your chronic mucus. I'm going to introduce you to the silent enemy hiding inside your own body. And most importantly, I'm going to give you a clear, practical, step-by-step plan to finally defeat it and breathe freely again. I promise you, the solution is far simpler than you think, once you understand what you are actually fighting. The myths keeping you stuck. Before I reveal the real cause, we need to clear something up. Not your throat, your thinking. Because there are 4 very common beliefs that have kept millions of people trapped in a cycle of remedies that simply do not work. The first myth, it must be a cold or flu that won't go away. This is always the first suspicion. You have mucus, you're clearing your throat. It sounds like a cold, but here's the problem. A common cold has a lifespan, 7 days, maybe 10, 15 at the very most, and it comes with other symptoms, nasal congestion, sneezing, body aches, fever. But your situation is different. Your mucus has been there for weeks, for months, without any of those other symptoms. If you have been dealing with this for more than 3 or 4 weeks, you can be almost certain it is not a simple virus. It is chronic, and chronic problems need different solutions. The second myth, it must be some kind of allergy. This is the second stop most people make. Dust, pollen, dust mites, pet hair. And yes, allergies can cause post-nasal drip, that sensation of mucus sliding down from the back of your nose into your throat. But allergies follow patterns. They get worse in certain seasons. They improve with antihistamines. They react to specific triggers. If you have tried allergy medication and the mucus is still there, unchanged, or if you suffer from it all year round regardless of the season, then allergy is very likely not the root cause. It may contribute, but it is not where this started. The third myth, it is because of smoking or pollution. Smoking absolutely irritates the airways. The body produces extra mucus to trap toxic particles. That is a fact. And if you smoke, that is a significant factor, no question. But in my practice, I see hundreds of patients who have never smoked a single cigarette in their lives, who live in areas with clean air, and yet they suffer from the same chronic mucus. For them, and possibly for you, this explanation simply does not go far enough. The fourth myth, I'm just getting older. This is normal. I want to be very direct about this one. Yes, tissues change as we age. Mucus can become thicker. But living with constant throat clearing every single day is not a normal part of aging. It is not something you should simply accept. It is a symptom of an imbalance. And like any symptom, it has a cause that can be identified and treated. Normalizing chronic discomfort is one of the most dangerous mistakes we can make with our health. So if it is not a cold, not an allergy, not just the environment or your age, then what on earth is it? The answer is going to surprise you. Because the problem does not start where you think it does. It does not start in your lungs. It does not start in your nose. The origin of your throat problem is in your stomach. The silent enemy. This is where everything starts to make sense. And this is why nothing you have tried has worked. The enemy I'm talking about is a thief that operates at night. A silent saboteur. Its technical name is Laryngopharyngeal reflux, or LPR. But I prefer to call it silent reflux. And that name matters. When most people hear the word reflux, they think of heartburn, that burning sensation rising up through the chest. But here's the critical point. Silent reflux is different. More than half of the people who suffer from it feel absolutely no heartburn at all. Zero burning, zero chest pain. That is exactly why it is silent, and exactly why it is so difficult to diagnose. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your stomach is a pressure cooker filled with gastric acid, a powerfully corrosive liquid whose job is to break down your food. Between your stomach and your esophagus sits a valve, a muscular ring called the lower esophageal sphincter. Its job is simple. It opens to let food pass through. Then it seals shut to keep the acid from escaping. Now, what happens when that valve does not close properly? It can happen because of what you eat, because of stress, because of excess weight. During the day, gravity helps keep everything in place, but when you lie down at night, that natural protection disappears. And here's the revelation. It does not take a surge of liquid acid traveling up your throat to cause damage. What rises is something far more subtle and far more harmful. An acid vapor, a kind of toxic mist that drifts silently up your esophagus while you sleep, without waking you, without you feeling a thing. This mist is so fine that it passes through a second valve higher up and reaches a delicate, completely unprotected zone. Your larynx, where your vocal cords live, and your pharynx, the very back of your throat. Unlike your stomach, your throat was never designed to handle acid. It has no protective lining. It is like letting a cloud of corrosive chemical settle onto a rose petal. The result is a slow, silent chemical burn, night after night after night. Why your body makes mucus and why it won't stop. Now here is the final piece of the puzzle, and this is the part that changes everything. That mucus you have been trying so desperately to get rid of? It is not the problem. It is your body's solution. It is your throat's desperate attempt to protect itself from that chemical assault. When your throat senses that it is being burned by acid vapor, it does the only thing it can to defend itself. It produces a thick layer of mucus, a shield, a protective coating. That mucus is your body trying to put out a fire. This is why syrups do not work. This is why teas do not solve anything at the root. You're trying to remove the shield, what to do, without stopping the attack. The constant throat clearing is your attempt to get rid of that shield. But because the attack keeps coming, your body simply produces more. It is a vicious, exhausting cycle. And it gets even more interesting. That acid vapor does not travel alone. It carries a hidden passenger, a secret weapon called pepsin. Pepsin is a stomach enzyme with one purpose: to break down proteins in your food. Think of it as a microscopic machine designed to digest protein. With silent reflux, this enzyme travels up with the acid vapor and embeds itself in the lining of your throat, sitting there like a dormant landmine, quiet, waiting. But it has a trigger, and that trigger is anything acidic. That morning coffee, that afternoon soda, the vinegar in your salad dressing, the orange juice you thought was so healthy. Every time something acidic touches your throat, it activates the pepsin that is already sitting there. And that pepsin, now awake and confused, starts doing its job, digesting protein. But with no food to work on, it turns to the one thing available: the protein tissue of your own throat. It literally begins breaking down your own cells at a microscopic level. Your body panics. It sends out an emergency signal. More mucus. Now, thicker, faster. Build a stronger shield. That is why your mucus feels so dense and sticky. That is why you wake up hoarse in the morning. Your vocal cords have been soaking in acid vapor all night. That tightness, that lump in your throat, it is inflammation, pure and simple. Now that you know the real enemy, the goal changes completely. The goal is no longer to eliminate the mucus. The real goal is to stop the reflux, to neutralize the pepsin, and to finally give your throat the chance it needs to heal. The 10-step battle plan. Now that we know we are fighting silent reflux and pepsin, we can fight back with intelligence. This is not a collection of magic remedies. This is a science-based action plan built from clinical experience. These are habit changes that attack the root of the problem. Apply them consistently. You do not need to do everything at once, but the more you implement, the faster you will feel results. Step 1. Use gravity while you sleep. Elevating the head of your bed is the single most important thing you can do. When you sleep completely flat, you create a direct highway from your stomach to your throat. You need to create a slope. Raising the head of your bed by about 6 to 8 inches makes gravity work in your favor. Do not just pile up pillows. That only bends your neck and can make things worse. You need to raise your entire upper body. Place thick books or wooden blocks under the legs at the head of your bed. Or invest in a wedge-shaped pillow designed for this purpose. Step 2. Sleep on your left side. This sounds simple, but it has a genuine anatomical basis. Because of the shape of the stomach, lying on your left side keeps the gastric contents lower and further from the valve. Sleeping on your right side actually makes it easier for acid to escape. A small change with a significant impact. Step 3. Follow the 3-hour rule. Your stomach needs time to empty before you lie down. If you eat dinner and go to bed shortly afterward, you are setting yourself up for a bad night. Make this your golden rule. finish your last meal, including any snacks, at least 3 hours before bedtime. Give your digestive system the time it needs to do its job. Step 4. Make dinner your lightest meal. Large, fatty meals take much longer to digest and put tremendous pressure on that protective valve. Choose lighter evening meals. Lean proteins like chicken or fish, cooked vegetables, and complex carbohydrates like sweet potato or quinoa. Avoid fried foods, heavy sauces, and rich desserts at night. Step 5. Identify and eliminate your trigger foods. For at least 3 weeks, reduce or eliminate the following: coffee and caffeinated tea, chocolate, carbonated drinks, including sparkling water, alcohol, especially white wine, mint, tomato, and tomato-based sauces, citrus fruits and juices, vinegar, spicy foods, and anything very greasy. These either relax the protective valve or are acidic enough to reactivate the pepsin already sitting in your throat. Step 6. Hydrate strategically. Staying well hydrated helps keep mucus thin and fluid, but avoid drinking large amounts of water all at once, especially during meals, as this overfills the stomach. The key is small, steady sips of water throughout the day between meals. Step 7. The strategic gargle. This one is incredibly effective and almost no one talks about it. Mix half a teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of warm water. Gargle for 30 seconds, especially first thing in the morning when you wake up, and after meals. Do not swallow it. The baking soda helps neutralize the acid in your throat and deactivates the pepsin sitting there. It gives your throat a chance to begin healing. Step 8. Chew sugar-free gum after meals. Choose a fruit flavor, not mint. Chewing gum after eating stimulates saliva production, and saliva is naturally alkaline. As you swallow, it helps rinse and neutralize any acid that may have risen. This simple habit takes 30 seconds and costs almost nothing. Step 9. Soothe with the right herbal teas. Certain caffeine-free teas are your allies here. Chamomile tea is anti-inflammatory and calming, perfect for soothing an irritated throat. Ginger tea is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory that also supports healthy digestion. Prepare it with fresh ginger and a small amount of honey if desired. Avoid all caffeinated teas during your recovery period. Step 10. Manage your stress. Chronic stress increases the production of stomach acid. Managing it is not a luxury. It is a medical necessity. Find something that works for you. Deep breathing exercises, a short walk, gentle yoga, meditation, even 15 minutes of quiet time each day doing something you enjoy. Your nervous system and your digestive system are deeply connected. Calming one helps calm the other. A story worth sharing. I want to tell you about a patient of mine. I will call him Antonio, a 55-year-old radio broadcaster who had spent 2 full years battling hoarseness and chronic mucus that was threatening his entire career. He had seen multiple specialists, tried every remedy. Nothing lasted. When he came to see me, we identified silent reflux as the cause. He committed to the plan, especially elevating his bed and following the 3-hour rule. Within 1 month, his voice had improved by 80%. The mucus had nearly disappeared entirely. His problem was never in his vocal cords. It was in his habits. The most important lesson: stop fighting the mucus. The mucus is only the messenger. Start fighting the real fire, silent reflux. Once you understand that the enemy is an acid vapor rising from your stomach while you sleep, every single strategy in this plan makes perfect sense. These are not random suggestions. They are precise tactics designed to disarm the true cause of your discomfort. I promise you, if you apply these steps with consistency, especially the nighttime measures and the dietary changes, you will begin to notice a difference. Your throat will finally have the opportunity to heal. The production of that defensive mucus will decrease because your body will no longer need it. You will feel your throat clear again. Your voice will feel lighter. Your mornings will be different. Start with just 1 or 2 changes tonight. The most important one: raise the head of your bed. And do not eat late. With just those 2 steps alone, many of my patients feel a meaningful improvement within just a few days. The solution is genuinely in your hands, in your kitchen, in your daily habits. You now have the knowledge, you have the plan. All that remains is to begin. If this video helped you understand something that has been confusing you for a long time, please share it with someone you know who is always clearing their throat or complaining about that feeling of something stuck. You could genuinely change their life. And leave me a comment below. Tell me where you are watching from, how long you have been dealing with this, and which strategy you're going to start with today. I read every single comment, and I want to follow your progress. Thank you for staying until the end. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.